Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new to my channel, then welcome. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. My name is Elise, and if you are not new, then of course, thank you guys so much for coming back for another video. So for today's video, as promised, if you watched my last video, which was my Beige Cosmetics haul, I told you guys the next time you saw my big old face, I will be on here kicking off my Zodiac series, and that is exactly what we are doing today. And judging by the title of this video, then you guys already know that this video is going to be all about my Aquarius fam. I call y'all my fam because I'm a fellow Aquarian, so you already know, girl. This video is gonna have a lot of bias, okay? So I'm just gonna own it. It's gonna be biased. I'm an Aquarius. These are my people, okay? So because this is the introduction to the video, I figured I would explain what I'm going to be doing in this kind of video. I'm going to be talking all about the Aquarius. I'm gonna give you guys my thoughts. I'm gonna give you guys the ins and outs, the good, the bad on dealing with an Aquarius person. Of course, take all of these things with a grain of salt because I am not an astrologist, okay? I never studied this stuff. I am not a pro. Within the past year, I've kind of really fell into horoscope signs and zodiacs and understanding what they mean and how they work, and I really kind of just fell for really understanding how people's personalities really compare and how they're similar based on their zodiac signs. But all in all, this series is just going to be something fun, something that I really wanted to do to kind of just help you guys connect with me a little bit more, as well as me connecting a little bit more with you guys as well, just understanding your personalities. Anyways, this intro is already kind of long in itself, so I'm going to be kicking it off with the makeup tutorial. I'm going to show you guys how I created this look, what inspired me to create this look, and why I used the colors that I used. And then at the very end of the video, after the makeup tutorial, I'm going to be going into all of the facts that I know about Aquariuses, and I'm just gonna give you guys the real, you know what I mean? So yeah guys, that's it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. We'll leave a timestamp down below so you guys know when I finish the tutorial, in case you're only here to see what I gotta say, okay boo? So I got y'all. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you want to see how I did this makeup tutorial as well as some of my thoughts on Aquarius, then please keep watching. Alright guys, so I'm going to start off by jumping right into my lips. I need to moisturize these lips. We are dead in the winter here in Boston, Massachusetts, and these lips are crusty. So I'm just going to go ahead and moisturize that with my Aquaphor lip moisturizer. And then jumping into the eyes, I'm going to start off by priming my eyelids with some concealer. I'm going to use a Too Faced Multi-Sculpting Concealer, and I'm going to blend that out really well. And then I'm going to set that with some Huda Beauty Loose Setting Powder. I believe this is the Easy Bake Powder in the shade Banana Bread. I'm just going to set that all over my eyes. That way when I go in with the shadows, it's not sticky from the concealer. Now I'm going to take the Zodiac palette. This is the original one from Beige Cosmetics, and taking the shade Aquarius, this is the matte shade. This is like a muted brown. I'm going to take that as a transition shade, and with a fluffy brush, I'm going to be putting that in my crease in windshield wiper motions. This is such an important step, especially if you're going to go in with colors, which I am. You want to make sure you have a nice base, a nice neutral shade that's going to help you blend all the colors you're going to go in with. Alright, so now going in with the real star of the show. This is a Zodiac Love Signs palette. This is a newer one from BH Cosmetics. I'm taking the shade Aquarius from this palette, but I'm taking the matte shade, which is kind of like a deep teal shade. And I'm going to be putting that in my crease, again in windshield wiper motions. And this time I'm taking a smaller blending brush to make sure that shade applies a little bit more intense, because I do want a little bit more of kind of like a smoky teal look. And then I'm taking the Aquarius, but this is the shimmer version of the shade that I just applied. And I'm going to apply that on the inner and outer corners of my eye, and I'm going to leave the center of my lid completely bare. I'm going to take a little bit of concealer. Again, this is the Too Faced concealer, and what I'm going to do is just apply that to the center of my lid. Essentially what that's going to do is make it so that this shade, which is Capricorn from the Love Signs palette, comes out really nice and intense and very pigmented. You don't have to go in with concealer, but I just feel like it's a nice base, especially when you're going to do a really light pop of color, because it just gives it so much more oomph, you know? So honestly, what's a look like this without lashes? So for lashes, I'll be going in with these by Sweetheart Lashes. These are in the style Selena. So moving on to my face, I'm going to take the Dr. Brandt Luminizer Primer, and I'm going to use this as the base before my foundation. And for the foundation, I'll be going in with the Milani Conceal and Perfect Foundation. You guys know this is my jam. This foundation is like riding hard with me, okay? I'm just going to be blending out that foundation really well with my Equal Tool sponge, which you guys know I have been loving lately. And then taking the concealer for the 7,000th time in this video, I'm going to actually use it to conceal my face this time. What are the odds? Alright, so this is a really important step because we want to have really nice smoky eyes. So I'm taking that blue shade that I used on my crease, the teal, and I'm putting that all over my lower lash line just to give me that smoky teal blue look. To give my face a little bit more color, because you know I was looking a little flat, I'm taking the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. For blush, I'll be taking Wet n Wild Pearlescent Pink. This is like one of the cheapest yet the most powerful and pigmented blushes you'll ever try in your life, I promise. For highlight, I'll be going in with the Amrezy and Anastasia Beverly Hills highlight. And lastly, for lips, this is going to be a two-step part. I'm going to start off with NYX Lingerie in the shade Bedtime Flirt. And then, ironically enough, I'm going to go over top of that with some Wet n Wild lip gloss. And this, I believe it's limited edition, but this is actually in the shade Aquarius. Not the best lip gloss, but it'll do for now. And that is pretty much it for the makeup. Alright you guys, that's pretty much it for the makeup tutorial. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. I absolutely love the way this look turned out. To me, this really does scream Aquarius, because every time I think of Aquarius, every time I think of myself and my sign, I always think of the color turquoise blue. So I really wanted to do something that really resembled this kind of turquoise. So anyways, let's get into Aquarius and what we are all about. And I'm going to use words like we, us, me, my, because obviously I'm an Aquarius, how I said, so for me I feel like I'm talking about myself in a way, you know what I mean? Aquarius is actually the 11th sign in the astrological zodiac, and we are actually ruled by the planet Uranus. I don't like to say Uranus, I like to say Uranus, because I always thought that was such a great word. Planet Uranus. And the birthday range for Aquarius is actually going to be January 21st through February 18th. I have seen that Aquarius can also start on January 20th. It really depends on what year you were born. So you're definitely going to want to look that up. Depending on what year you were born in, if you were born on January 20th, you might be a Capricorn. So definitely look that up. You definitely don't want to be repping the wrong team, okay sis? Even though if you want to be an Aquarius and you're Capricorn, girl, come sit with us. Come sit with us. We're cool people. It's okay, honey. And Aquarius is a fixed air sign, and that actually confuses so many people, because you would think Aquarius, aqua, water, you know, you would think we're a water sign, but no, we're actually a fixed air sign, and that actually blows a lot of people's minds. On top of that, our symbol is actually a water bearer as well, which is even more confusing. So I've heard so many people say that Aquarius is a water sign, and it makes me want to pull my hair out of my head, because I'm like, no girl, we're an air sign. So I'm not too sure if I want to kick it off with the negative and then kind of go into the positive characteristics. I'm thinking I might do that, because I kind of want to end it on a positive note, you know what I mean? So what I could say about Aquarius that is a little bit on the negative side is, if you're dealing with an Aquarius, for the most part, you might be dealing with somebody that's a little bit aloof, a little bit cold-hearted, comes off a little bit distant, and like they don't really care. That's a vibe that a lot of Aquariuses tend to have. I don't like to think that I'm this cold-hearted, aloof type of person. However, I can't help that sometimes that's how I might come off to others, and that's just kind of like the vibe that you might get with an Aquarius that's a little bit on the negative side. But once you really get to know an Aquarius, trust and believe that we are not cold-hearted people. We are not aloof people at all. Maybe at a first glance, a lot of us tend to come off a little bit aloof, like we don't really want to F with you, you know what I mean? But trust me, it's not coming from a place of malicious intent or like, I'm too good for you. It's not like that. It's more like Aquariuses, we tend to be very detached when it comes to our feelings and our emotions. So from the get-go, it might not seem like we care. It might not seem like we want to like engage in situations with people. It's more like it takes us a while to really warm up to things, if that makes any sense. There's a lot of irony in being an Aquarius though, because despite the fact that we can easily come off as aloof, at the same time, Aquariuses really attract a lot of people, attract a lot of friendships. So it's kind of weird how that works. You would think that somebody that comes off as distant and kind of like detached from emotions and feelings would not have a lot of friends, but usually Aquariuses tend to have a lot of friends. I say Aquariuses because I don't have a lot of friends, so I don't know about that, but I have seen a lot of Aquariuses, and a lot of my friends are Aquariuses, and they have a big group of friends, but I'm not one of those Aquariuses. That kind of leads me to my next point when it comes to Aquarius. So I feel like you might be dealing with one of two types of people, or maybe like a mix of in between. You might be dealing with the Aquarius that's really bubbly, really extroverted, really friendly, really nice once you get to know them, or you might be dealing with an Aquarius that is kind of like really detached from their emotions, really like kind of like isolated, extremely introverted, a little bit strange, a little bit weird. They might come off that way. I feel like I kind of fall a little bit more on the type 1 type of Aquarius, but taking little pieces from the type 2 type of Aquarius, if that makes any sense. I do have a lot of introverted tendencies. Like, I'm not super duper extroverted. I can be, but for the most part, I like to think that I'm an introverted type of person. I think I'm more of like the bubbly, charismatic, like to talk to people, but at the same time, if I'm comfortable. Like, I'm not gonna go up to you and be like, hi, my name's Elise. Like, that's not that type of person I am, but I do feel like I kind of fall in between type 1 type of Aquarius and type 2 type of Aquarius, if that makes any sense. So when you're dealing with an Aquarius as a friend, be prepared to deal with somebody who is very honest, very blunt, very no bullshit type of person. And that I do feel like is a positive trait for the most part, because I'm an Aquarius and I'm being biased, and I feel like it's a positive trait. However, if I'm an outsider looking in, that's not always a positive trait, so I might kind of put it in the negative, because I do feel like that's something that a lot of people kind of don't like about us. I feel like the way that I show my love to my friends is by giving them advice that's real, that's raw, things that they may not want to hear but they need to hear. And that's kind of just the way that I am when it comes to being a friend. My boyfriend's an Aquarius, my daughter is an Aquarius, and when it comes to my boyfriend and I, since we're adults obviously, I really do appreciate that about him, and I know that he appreciates it about me as well. When it comes to advice, we give each other very blunt, very straightforward advice. We both reciprocate really well on that advice because it's the advice that we expect to hear. If you're dealing with an Aquarius, whether it's a friend, a family member, your mama, your daddy, wife, husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever the case may be prepared to deal with somebody that's brutally blunt, honest, and that might not be something that you like, but down the road, I promise you, it'll be something that you appreciate. With an Aquarius, you also want to be prepared to deal with somebody that's extremely stubborn, extremely hard-headed. We tend to be, for the most part, very type A type of people, very alpha males, alpha females. So with that comes somebody who's very stubborn and kind of stuck in their ways. If an Aquarius has their mind set on something and they want to achieve something in this life, they're going to be stubborn about it. They're going to be hard-headed about it. For sure, they're going to do everything that it takes to reach that goal and to accomplish that milestone. And I think that that's kind of where it becomes a positive trait. But I think where it's negative is when an Aquarius is kind of stuck in their ways and they're wrong. They're not going to admit that they're wrong. They're kind of going to be stubborn in their ways and kind of hard-headed when it comes to that. Since an Aquarius is a fixed air sign, I do feel like we tend to really enjoy our freedom. We really enjoy doing things at our own pace. We like dancing to the beat of our own drum. We do not like when people try to tell us what to do. We do not handle demands very well. That is something that I do not take lightly at all. When I feel like somebody is bossing me around, when I feel like somebody is telling me what to do, we do not like when people come at us with a tone that sounds like they're trying to tell us what to do. No, sis. You never want to do that with an Aquarius. If you're going to tell an Aquarius what to do, you absolutely want to tread lightly, and you want to do it in a way that's disguised. Like, if you want to tell them what to do, maybe kind of like ask, but deep down inside, you know you're telling them. You know what I mean? Like, instead of saying, hey, go pick up your clothes, be like, hey, I think it would be a really good idea if you pick up the clothes over there. Like, do something like that. Honest to God, if we feel like we're being told what to do, then we're going to do the total opposite. We're going to rebel. So I kind of touched on this briefly, but when it comes to Aquarius, we do not like to display a lot of emotion, and that is very true. As a woman, I do feel like I'm a very emotional person. However, I feel like I'm very emotional in my own silence, in my own solitude. I don't like to display a lot of emotion in public. That is something that I know that I have, and I've seen that as well with a lot of Aquariuses. Very seldom are you going to find an Aquarius like really sharing their business out there, because we are just really private people. We really like to keep our emotions to ourselves. We kind of have this wall up when it comes to like displaying emotion, and I think that really comes from the fact that we can be very detached with our emotions. It's not that we don't have them, because I absolutely do feel like I'm extremely emotional, but like I said, we don't like to display it out in public. Something else that I'm still learning how to deal with as an Aquarius is we can be very unforgiving people. Like, I'm not kidding, you guys. Do something bad to an Aquarius and they will cut you off forever, like for lifey. Honey, you are done. You are X'd out. Like, we have that tendency to really not to like to give second chances. It's something that to this day I struggle with, because I know deep down inside that certain people, certain situations do deserve a second try, a second chance, a second opportunity. But it's hard for me to give it, because I just feel like, well, if they tried you once, like, don't let them try you again. You know what I mean? We could be very brutal people when it comes to consequences. Like, we don't play that. Like, we're good. If I could give you any piece of advice, if you're dealing with an Aquarius or if you are loving on an Aquarius, don't try them, okay? Because if they X you out, it's going to be really, really hard to get back in with them, because we have a really hard time with forgiving people. I think that is very true. I actually have a lot of friends who are Aquarius who have just completely cut off on relationships. I've done it as well in some of my past relationships. Like, if I'm done, I'm done. Like, I'm moving on. Like, I don't care. I don't care about you no more. Like, who that? Like, I don't care. That's just, I guess that's how we are. Like, it comes with, I guess, the territory of being Aquarius. It comes with that unforgiving trait in our personalities. All right, so now to give you guys some of the positive traits when it comes to being with an Aquarius. This one is we are very type A type of people, and I kind of briefly mentioned that one already, but I really do believe that most of the Aquariuses that I know, we're very type A. We're alpha females, alpha males. Like, we know what we want. We're going to get what we want. We're not easily convinced otherwise. Like, we're not weak-minded. We're very strong-minded people, and I absolutely do believe that. Aquarians are very non-judgmental people, and I really do think that that's a main reason Aquarians get along so well with others. But another thing that Aquarians often get told is we're very creative. We're very original people. If you are dealing with an Aquarius, whether it's romantically, whether it's a friend, be prepared to deal with somebody who is an extreme goal-getter, very goal-oriented, and knows what they want, and will do everything possible to achieve that goal. All right, so if you have your eyes and your heart set on somebody who is an Aquarius, and you kind of want to get a little bit of an idea of what you're going to deal with, be prepared to deal with somebody who is very fun and likes a good time, and also somebody who is very free-spirited and kind of likes to do a lot of different things. But definitely be prepared to deal with somebody who's a go-getter, and when they have their heart set on something, that's what they want to do, and they're going to do everything possible to get there. Also, a little bit more, I guess, on the negative side, be prepared to deal with somebody who is, for the most part, detached from their emotions. So they may have a hard time expressing how they feel, so you might be dealing with somebody who is, you know, resorting to like the silent treatment or ignoring you, just for lack of better words, to not want to express how they feel because they're kind of running away from the whole emotional part of things because they just don't like to share emotions. I guess the workaround is really asking straight up, hey, what's the problem? Like, don't sit there and expect them to come to you. Like, go up to them and be like, hey, what's the problem? Like, I notice you have an attitude. Like, what's really good with you? Like, can we talk about it? Like, what's wrong? Like, really get them to really talk to you, because if not, they might not say anything at all. I just wanted to touch on some of the Aquarians that we know that are famous. So from the top, Ellen DeGeneres, Oprah Winfrey, Bob Marley, Shakira, Michael Jordan, The Weeknd, and Justin Timberlake. Alright, you guys, so that's pretty much it. I really hope that you guys enjoyed my Aquarius Zodiac tutorial. I hope this helped you understand the Aquarius in your life a little bit more, or if you are an Aquarius yourself, I hope this helped you and I relate to one another a little bit more. If there were any points that I missed, please leave them in the comments down below. I would love to know your thoughts. I would love to know your feedback. Don't forget to let me know what zodiac sign you're excited to see. I'm going to be doing Pisces next, just because Pisces is actually going to be our next zodiac. Hey guys, thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it so much. Please subscribe if you have not subscribed to my channel already, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.